Besties, BFFs, whatever you want to call them, who wouldn't want to live without their best friend? Well, Playing House is a new comedy on USA that is following two childhood girlfriends. They move in together after one of them finds out that they have a baby on the way. The show stars the very funny and lovable duo Lennon Parham and Jessica St. Clair. Both of them join us now for the inside scoop on Playing House. Ladies, good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm fabulous. Thanks for asking. What a great concept for a show. What are you ladies most excited about?
Well, you know, Lennon and I are real-life best friends. So basically, when we were trying to think of what we wanted to do with this new show, we had babies on the brain. We were not yet pregnant. But I said, what would it be like if we basically raised a baby together?
And we immediately thought of about a million different storylines.
Right. And then
so
Lennon,
we knew we had a hit on our hands.
Lennon went out and got herself knocked up. So she was exactly the months pregnant we needed her to be when we filmed the pilot.
For the first episode.
Yeah. And I was actually secretly 3 months pregnant. So now these babies are out, and we can write all of the things that are happening to us.
Oh my gosh, how fun. I cannot wait to tune in and watch how your stories play out on air. Now, I can imagine you were best friends on the show, so it's not too hard to be best friends in real life too then, is it?
Well, we were best friends before, and then we wrote the show, you know, about our real-life best friendship. And
so hopefully you're going to see an authentic friendship that you relate to, you recognize, and you're like, oh my God, that's just like me and my best friend.
Yeah, the best compliment we ever get is when people say, oh, after I watched your pilot, I called up my best friend, and, you know, it makes them, you know, feel closer to their best friends, which is nice.
I love it. You ladies do seem so close, and just listening to you makes me want to go home and share stuff with my own best friend. I just want to go home and hug her.
You know, it's something that we do in the show. Yeah, you got to check in. One thing we do in the show is we have nicknames. Lennon and I have secret nicknames for everybody in our lives that they don't know. And so in this show and in the pilot, you see we call one girl Bird Bones because she's constantly, Tina Steigerman, she constantly breaks all of her bones. Yeah. And then in a later episode, it all comes out. She finds out we call her that.
Yeah, and then also that the two of us have nicknames that we didn't know about that other people were calling us.
Isn't that so funny? I mean, you kind of develop these inside jokes when you're close to somebody like that, but now it's getting out and it's on camera and everybody is watching you. So how does that make you feel?
Well, hopefully they won't find out our true secrets. But yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of the things that have happened, awkward things that have happened to us in our real life end up in the show. So
so you have to watch it and figure out which things are from our real life and which things we're writing for television.
Right.
Now, how did your friendship start? Does this go way back to grade school, or how did you two meet?
We met at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater, which is an improv comedy theater in New York City. And we both were there doing comedy and learning basically to be comedians. And we saw each other across a crowded room, and we both had on sweater sets.
Yeah, and there was like, we don't look like the type of girls that should find themselves in an underground basement theater that's underneath the prestigious supermarket.
Crazy comedy things.
Yeah. So once I said to myself, I have to have her, and I started a kind of olden days 1800s pursuit of her.
Yeah, and I was like, you don't have to do that. I'm easy.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, as fun as it can be living with your best friend, just like a spouse. Now, I can imagine it can be pretty difficult. What can we expect from the show?
Well, we don't actually have, this one doesn't have the baby until the 9th episode. So what you basically see is, you know, these two childhood best friends coming back together.
Getting used to being back together again, and then really helping each other live their best lives.
Yeah, and they go on a lot of crazy adventures.
Yeah, so you're going to feel like a lot of Laverne and Shirley romps, kind of.
We get arrested for breaking into and skinny dipping at a Jewish community center pool. We put on a Magic Mike-style strip show with the local cops.
Yes, I dress up like a Duck Dynasty guy to spy on my brother on a date because I feel like he's getting catfished.
Yeah, so it's basically watching these two kind of get back into their old routine. Yeah. And for my character, since I'm moving back home, I have to confront a lot of things like Keegan-Michael Key from Comedy Central's Key and Peele. Very handsome, very funny. He plays my high school boyfriend who proposed to me, and I left left him in the lurch. So he and I are getting back together. He's married to Bird Bones. And my mom, played by Jane Katz-Merrick from Malcolm in the Middle, who was phenomenal. She plays my mother, who I think I've cut off contact with, but she's actually been hiding from me. So we end up becoming close again.
Working on getting back closer.
I love the energy that the two of you put off. I mean, you can really just tell how excited you are about the show. So I think that's pretty cool. And I think it's certainly the storyline is something that really sets you apart from other shows, because I can't think of any out there
good.
like
We're
that.
glad.
When we were writing, we watched a lot of old Laverne and Shirley's and I Love Lucy's, and it's been a while since we've had a duo, you know, and Mary Tyler Moore and Rhoda. It's just, hopefully it'll spark a renaissance of lady comedy.
There is a moment. I think female comedians right now are really having a moment, so we're definitely riding that wave.
Yeah.
So that's really awesome. We're happy for everyone's success.
Bridesmaids was a movie that I was actually in that scene where everyone throws up on each other. I had the pleasure of shooting that for 4 days, but that is kind of the style of this comedy, which is it's hard-hitting, hilarious comedy, but also it has really heartfelt moments in it.
Yeah.
Well, and being best friends for so long and now working together, is there anything that annoys you about one another? Something you get tired of, or is it all just fun all the time?
Are you kidding me? I drive her crazy.
No, there's only a couple things you do. No, I always say this. She eats a lot of nuts, a lot of cashew nuts. There's a bag of nuts right by her side currently. And when we write, she sits up basically on me as I type, and she's like, go up, go up, go up. And
I'm popping nuts in my mouth.
So there's always like hot nut breath in my face.
Into her ear.
And I do wish that she would just use a binder clip, you know, seal that nut bag opens or closed so that it doesn't
relationship,
fly out into my face.
I'm the man. No, you're the man, but I'm the husband. That's like, ugh, why won't he just close that drawer? You know what I mean?
It's labeled, that's where the coffee goes.
You sound like the best duo. I mean, it reminds me of my best friend. She's crazy and I'm out of my mind. We're the perfect pair.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Yeah, we're both falling apart at the seams.
Yeah, you know how women, like, we put together a good face, a good outfit, but underneath it all, you know, we're all one step away from just having a raisin stuck to your butt all day and nobody tells you. That's why you need a best friend.
I recently found a thong in my purse and it wasn't mine. And I said, Lennon, is this yours? Because I don't know
where that thong came from.
It's still a mystery.
So what is it that you want people to just get from watching your show and watching your friendship just play out?
I hope after you watch this show you feel really good, because ultimately this is a show about people that truly love each other and have each other's back. And we're really lucky to be following Modern Family, because it's a really good example. It's kind of the same tone of our show, which is that, you know, they might get into these scrapes and crazy things might happen, but at the end of the day, they always have each other's back. So hopefully it'll make you feel like calling your best friend.
Oh, and I do. So Lennon and Jessica, tell everybody when and where they can see you and when we can
watch Playing House on the USA Network Tuesdays at 10 p.m. Our premiere is April 29th, so please watch.
Thank you both so much. Your energy is just contagious. Looks like so much fun. We can't wait to watch this show. So thanks again.
Thank you.
We're going to have more on this segment at fox4morningblend.com.
They were a lot of fun. I love it. All right, from the planning to the packing, let's face it, taking a family vacation can sometimes be stressful. Up next, we're dishing the must-haves to put your relaxation back into your vacation.